Hey True Believers, Englandine here with another episode of Comic Book Origins, where we take a look at the very first appearance of any comic book superhero, villain, or team, and this time around, we're taking a look at the Creature Commandos. Created by J.M. DeMatteis and Pat Broderick in 1980, November of 1980 to be exact. It was when they first made their appearance. It was supposed to save the book Weird War Tales. Unfortunately, J.M. DeMatteis' so crazy it might just work idea fell flat on the face of the book, was canceled. That didn't mean that they haven't stuck around all the way to getting their own new iteration in the New 52. This is a commissioned video by Jim Sorensen, and I'd like to thank him very much for doing that. Now, let's get into Weird War Tales number 93. And as always, we start with a cover looking at this. I remember in the 80s, they always had that 25 incredible, that kind of thing. They always had something across with the banner for a while with the stars. Action-packed, all new pages. Incredible combat. Introducing World War II's weirdest warriors, the Creature Commandos. You got Frankenstein holding a guy like a freaking sack. They're all bursting through a wall, by the way, with no rebar. And you've got what looks like a vampire, a werewolf, and Joe with Frankenstein here. I think if a better caption would be if you saw this running through the wall, you'd be pants-shittingly scared. That would fit. I think that would fit in this one. Probably not a good thing to put on a comic book back in the 1980s, but I think it would work. So the book begins. Across the ages, only one thing is ever present, the unexplained. There are always events beyond human understanding, and many of them are in the midst of man's greatest struggles. Weird War Tales. It is said that there is nothing quite so handsome as a man in uniform, but obviously those who say it have never walked a bloody battlefield in the aftermath of combat to look upon the torn and twisted bodies, the red and ruined faces as I have. In my time, I have seen every proud uniform ever worn by the sorry human race, for I am Death, the terrible tailor, and in the end, all men must come to me. Okay, well, that was useless. In a centuries-old castle in the heart of Nazi-occupied France, a bizarre tableau unfolds as the cream of Hitler's killer elite come face-to-face with the weirdest warriors of all, the Creature Commandos. Okay, gentlemen, it appears the time for discretion is past. We've got a wide-open fight on our hands. We should just turn around and leave you to the wolves, Shrive. It's what you deserve. Leave, Velcro, when there's glorious blood and death? The book really opens on an army base where we see a whole bunch of the top brass are coming in, and we see General Shrive trying to talk to senators, generals, admirals about Project M. One of them bursts out, "Now look here, son, I didn't leave the war and come running here just to listen to some tripe about things that go bump in the night. Just what the devil have the army boys got going on here that's all fired up important? Firstly, Admiral, this project is the result of combined effort of all our armed forces, not to mention a number of civilian groups. Secondly, if you'll just turn your attention to the screen behind me, I believe all of your well-intentioned questions will be answered." As many of you already know, intelligence has long been interested in aiding the war effort, not just on a physical level, but a psychological one as well. We research the subconscious archetypes, the symbol of fright and horror, all that men seem to share, regardless of social and cultural conditioning. And then we set about scientifically recreating them. That was the birth of Project M for Monster. This is Warren Griffith, a 4F Oklahoma farm boy with a problem. He suffers from lycanthropy, a condition that a team of specially selected scientists and medical men managed to manifest physically in our young volunteer. Next came Sergeant Vincent Velcro, who wisely managed to avoid a 30-year sentence in an Army brig by joining Project M. For 6 months, he was injected with a compound composed of experimental chemicals and a blood extracted from the new Mexican vampire bat, and the result was intriguing. Finally, there was good-hearted Marine private named Lucky Taylor, whose luck ran out when he stepped on a landmine on some god-forsaken island in the Pacific. Our surgeon worked for weeks on end putting Lucky back together again, albeit not the way he was originally constructed. What is this nonsense? How dare you call us together to hear such idiocy? Enough of this. Be calm, sirs. Be calm and behold. The Creature Commandos. Slightly melodramatic entrance, sirs, but one I think gets the point across quite effectively. And for some reason, the generals are like, hey, this is all fake, because why? Okay, you know that somebody has been financing this, right? Somebody has to have paperwork. Okay, but anyway, they're like, oh, these are just fake Hollywood costumes, and the vampire jumps on the general, causing the werewolf to have to knock him off. Come on, can we write the military just a little bit smarter than this? I'm not buying into it here, guys, seriously. And once the Frankenstein takes out the vampire, I swear to gosh, the general gives the whole, you guys are the worst cops speech. Lieutenant Shrive, these commandos of yours are a menace. They are a terrible, reprehensible assortment of inhuman dregs, and I hope that I never set eyes on them again. Yes, sir, General, but don't interrupt me, son. I said I never want to set eyes on them again, and I meant it, but that doesn't negate the fact that they may be the most effective secret weapons this country has ever seen. So you take your Creature Commandos, Lieutenant, and you teach those damnable Nazis the true meaning of the word fear. We cut to the Creature Commandos flying around, and Velcro is really curious about the mission. Shrive tells them that they're going to take a castle that the Germans have taken over and are now performing experiments in. Irony? Thy name is Irony. So they end up parachuting to the ground, and as they get there, they see that their plane has not only been spotted, but blown out of the sky. Frankenstein sheds a tear. An hour's tramp through the cold, forbidding woods finally brings the Creature Commandos to their goal, but their arrival does little to raise their dulled spirits. And you say, all we have to do is destroy this fortification? You are a fool, Shrive. We created you with certain talents, Velcro. Now's the time to use them. Well, it has been too many hours since I had a satisfying meal. And though Vincent Velcro may be somewhat satiated, the feast of blood for some is just the beginning. And we see the werewolf pull a Nazi over the wall and throw him to the ground. The Creature Commandos go deep into the castle, finding themselves facing down a horde of Nazis and one tiny bird that won't shut up. They slice through the horde like a saber through wax men. Shrive calls on Frankenstein to open up a huge metal door. He does, and they see Franklin Roosevelt. Please, young men, there's been a mistake. Mistake my foot, you tin-plated phony, he says, and he blasts the fake Roosevelt. Instantly, the fantastic truth becomes clear as glistening glass. You got it, Lucky. That's not Roosevelt. It's a mechanical ringer. And Lucky, the huge Frankenstein monster, knocks the block right off of the robot. Look around. Eisenhower, Stalin, Churchill. They're constructing a horde of these things, android duplicates for the Nazis to slip in secretly. Think of it, the Allied nations being run by Third Reich pawns. It's a beautiful plan, is it not? I can't do German accent. You guys know this. I suck at accents. A pity you will not live to see to come to fruition. I don't. You know what? I could do Asian accent. So from here on in, you got Asian Germans. Oh, I don't know. Oh, wait, that's the American. Oh, I don't know about that. Hit them! And we see all the Creature Commandos blasting the shit out of everybody. And hit them they do with one of the most incredible, stunning displays of pure power ever recorded in the annals of war. Velcro, Griffith, Lucky, we've got to get out of here. But what about the androids? No questions. Just get us out. Just get us out. Those words ring in the air as the commandos plow through seemingly endless waves of German flesh. But for one at least, it is not easy. He knows the toll such madness takes on the human soul, and he weeps for those slain. Oh no, not now, I can't change now! And we see the werewolf become human again. We cut to the commandos just as they're all leaping away from the castle as it begins to blow up. They leap, they run in time. What the hell was that? That was a specially crafted explosive that I was carrying in my bag. You mean if we hadn't gotten out of there in time? Again, you toyed with us, manipulated our fates as if we were just chattel. We may have the forms of monsters, Shrive, but you have the monstrous spirit. Velcro, please, I'm very tired. You could call me all the names you'd like after we get home. There is hatred between these men, there is anger and resentment, but there is also unvoiced thought that they have just begun to carve a new legend in the weird war. So there you go, guys. That is the very first appearance of the Creature Commandos. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. I thought the book was amazingly A-okay. So did the bird. I think, though, it would have been better if it was a full book so they could flesh out the characters or flesh out the characters a little bit more. The only thing they gave Frankenstein to do was cry. It was like the second half of Spider-Man 3. Every time it showed, and look, the monster can cry. We get it. The monster cries. All right. Overall, though, yeah, I could see why this didn't succeed in saving Weird War Tales. It's good, but it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't anything that would set the world on fire. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to click like, share, get word out about this channel. Anyway, if you haven't done it already, go on over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi. Drop $1 in the tip jar. Thank everybody who's already done that. To everyone, all of the true believers, including that loud-ass bird, thank you very, very much for watching.